We're about to go full court press. It's time to play ball. Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. Huddle up. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Here we go. It's Friday. It's the afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. Actually, no, it's 3:01. It's just changed. You know what that means. It is time for WHBC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Hi, I'm Eric Bichetti. Alongside me, I have Matt Charkwick, my good friend and co-host.
How we doing, man? Just the two of us again, I say.
It's all right. You know why?
All good.
You know why? Because we can do it. And if you are just joining us on our live Facebook stream, we are live right now. Happy to have you joining us. We also have a chance of a New York Mets beat writer by the name of Mr. Healy joining us soon, hopefully. So, a lot of nice things going on today. Who said that this was the slow time in sports? Not me. I don't believe that.
Not one bit.
Don't believe that at all. So before we get into the Mets, because we'll get into the Mets when Mr. Healy calls in, Mr. Tom Healy. So let's get to the Yankees really quick. They have an all-star team of injured players right now. Now, Matt, you asked me before.
Are you worried?
And the answer may surprise you. No, I'm not worried at all. Only because these injuries happen. Yes. Absolutely true. No doubt about it. The only one that really scares me, per se, is Andujar.
Yeah.
That's the one that really scares me. But I have, a good player in DJ LeMahieu that's going to be, as of recently, he's been the leadoff hitter since Aaron Hicks has been hurt. And he's been the only guy that's really getting on base a lot. So
that's what separates the Yankees from some of the other teams in the league. They got assets. If their stars are down, at least they have guys that you can trust.
But this is a problem, only because, you have to have guys, like, look at the people that are not injured. You have to have the guys, like what happened yesterday, the Gleyber Torres of the Yankees. He has to step up. Aaron Judge.
You're right.
Aaron Judge. He's got to step up. Clint Frazier, this is his shot to step up. Tyler Wade, this is also his shot to step up. Greg Bird, prove everybody wrong. Step up. Luke Voigt, he's been ice cold as of lately. He hit a dinger yesterday. Step up. Because you don't have Stanton in that lineup right now. You don't have Tulowitzki in the lineup right now, which, by the way, can I just say right now, that's not bad luck that Tulo got hurt. Yes, you never want to see a player of, any caliber get hurt. You never want to see that. But Tulowitzki has been a walking injury.
He has, as of late.
You signed him. If you're the Yankees, you signed him probably knowing, yes, Didi Gregorius is not going to come back. Oh, spoiler alert, that's another one on the injured list. He might not be back for a while. Jordan Montgomery, he's not going to come back for a while. Luis Severino, he's not coming back for a little while. CeCe Sabathia, he's not coming back for a little while. If anything, I'm not happy. Let me choose a different word. I'm okay with the fact that these injuries are happening now in early April as opposed to maybe like a late July, early August. I'm okay with that because, the Yankees, this is something that I think the Yankees can survive. They brought in these players like a LeMahieu. They have these players like a Gleyber Torres that can, just step in and, just kind of fill the void right now. So that's my entire thought on it. And you know what? Again, it's just it stinks that these injuries are happening right now. But again, I'd rather them happen right now as opposed to July or August. Now, enough about the Yankees. Enough about that.
Let's get to the winning team. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stop it, you. So joining us right now, Newsday beat reporter Tim Healy, beat reporter for the New York Mets. Tim, it's Eric and Matt. How are you doing?
I'm excellent, thanks. How are you?
Good,
well.
good. How are you? So let's get to the good stuff right now. Mets off to a very good start. And, something that I just wanted to, touch on first. There was a guy by the name of Robinson Cano, the crown jewel of the Edwin Diaz trade. He comes back to New York. I'm still a fan of him. I think that he's going to reintroduce himself to the New York spotlight quite nicely, like he did on opening day by hitting a home run. What do you think of Cano as of right now and going into the future?
I think he can be a productive player for now, but I would disagree with your assessment that he was the crown jewel. From the Mets' perspective, Edwin Diaz was the big prize in that trade. And,
of course.
They kind of sort of took on Cano and were willing to pay him all that money he's owed the next 5 years for the sake of unloading some of their own bad contracts and, of course, getting Diaz. But, yeah, Cano's, had not a fantastic start to the season. He had a good opening day. But the Mets believe, and it seems reasonable to believe, that he can be a productive player for at least the next couple of years. Absolutely.
Now, I want to bring up about players like that. What's your take on Pete Alonso so far this season? Obviously, we're 6 games in, and a lot of Mets fans already start to love him. I know I appreciate his level of performance so far. What's your take of him being at first base?
Well, the level of performance has been very good, and the level of enthusiasm, I think, has been even higher.
Yes, big time.
There's a lot to like on the field. Every time he hits the ball, it almost reminds me of Giancarlo Stanton-type exit velocity and power. He hasn't had the reps yet to really show us some moonshots, but I think that'll come. We've seen a couple line drives hard off the wall, which, low line drives off the wall, you just don't see that a lot. But that's the kind of power he has. At first base, defensively, he's been pretty much fine, nothing super wrong, which is, a big improvement from what scouts were saying this time last year. So, there's a lot to like there so far.
Would you say that Pete Alonso's going to stay at first base throughout the course of the season, or you think he's going to be moving around?
No, he's going to stay there. If there are questions about him at first base, they're not going to move him around.
Right.
Unfortunately, the NL doesn't have a DH, so the Mets don't have that option.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking to Tim Healy, beat writer from Newsday for your New York Mets. Now, speaking of the first base situation, obviously Pete Alonso has been introducing himself quite nicely. I want to talk to you about the other first baseman of the past, Dominic Smith. Dominic Smith, seems to be a different player. Now, going into spring training up until now, was first base Dominic Smith's position to lose, or was that Pete Alonso this whole time?
It was really Pete Alonso the whole time. A year ago, you could say, yes, it was Dom Smith to lose. But after the year he had last year, he kind of fell out of favor with the organization a bit. Combine that with the huge 2018 Pete Alonso had in the minors, and really, it was Pete Alonso and J.D. Davis and Todd Frazier and then Dominic Smith on the first base depth chart. But you're absolutely right. Smith had a great spring training. He's been really good to start this season, mostly off the bench. So, it's easy to forget, but he's still only 23, 6 months younger than Pete Alonso. There's still a lot to like there for a player. So, I'm far from giving up on Dom Smith.
I agree with you. I actually like Dominic Smith. Honestly, I like Pete Alonso a little bit more. He's showing me more results. He's playing a lot more. 6 out of the 7 games the Mets have been playing, Alonso's been at first base. But the Mets just had their opening day yesterday at Citi Field. Can you just, clarify the situation of what happened?
Yeah.
Because the Marlins and the Mets played the day before. I believe it was like a late afternoon game. And then the opening day at Citi Field was an early afternoon game. And Noah Syndergaard was quite outspoken about that. What did you think of that whole situation?
Well, it was a 6 o'clock game Wednesday night in Miami, followed by a 1 p.m. game Thursday in New York. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is home teams pick the start times. So the Marlins, sure, didn't do the Mets any favors by playing at 6 o'clock as opposed to 1 in the afternoon, which would have been nice. Right. But it's not really Miami's job to do the Mets that favor. They're division rivals. At the same time, the Mets decided to play at 1. They could have picked 4. They could have picked 7. I know tradition is a 1 p.m. home start for the opener, but, I guess they value tradition over rest for their players.
Yeah, because that was the thing I was thinking about, because you got to figure from Miami to Queens, you got to figure it's maybe like 2.5-hour flight, maybe. So
yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so the travel, I guess if you run on adrenaline, then maybe, you can probably show some results. But the Mets kind of laid an egg. They lost 4-0.
Right, yeah. There was a lot of a talk of adrenaline pregame from Mickey Callaway, and then there was none on the field. So combine a lack of sleep with Steven Strasburg, and I guess you get 14 strikeouts out of 27 outs.
Yeah, 100%. And again, we are talking to Tim Healy, Mets beat writer from Newsday. Now, something else that I wanted to address. One of my favorite players on the Mets that I'm going to watch this year is Jeff McNeil. Now,
sure.
when McNeil came up last year, the second half, he was hitting all over the place. He's like a super utility. Maybe the Mets version of Ben Zobrist, even though that's being very generous. But we're going to get to see, in my mind, a full year of Jeff McNeil. What are your thoughts on him?
Absolutely, yeah. As long as he hits. Last year in his, 1/3 of the season, he was off the charts. I don't think Jeff McNeil is going to be quite that kind of hitter. But if he can be anything close, getting regular at-bats in left field, at third base, however they piece it together, then that's a very productive, very useful player for any organization.
Of course. And now, the Mets are playing the Nationals. They're not playing today. Today's the off day, so they're continuing this series against the Nationals tomorrow at about 1:10. So what are your thoughts going forward about the series? What do the Mets need to do to capitalize on this whole series?
The Nationals being right there with the Mets as far as the NL East in a 4-team race, you're going to need to beat up on your division opponents. All year. So 2 out of 3 is what you want. They already lost the first game, so, sweeping a weekend is hard, especially when you're facing Patrick Corbin and Max Scherzer. So that's a tall order.
Yeah, and Matz is pitching tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Right. It's going to be Matz on Saturday and Wheeler on Sunday. They flip-flop those two guys to break up the left-handers in the rotation. Hopefully they're resting up today because they have a tough weekend ahead.
Yes, they do. And now, Tim Healy, beat reporter from your New York Mets, from Newsday. Tim, I'll get you out on this. Whenever we have anyone affiliated or a part of the Mets organization in any way, shape, or form, I wanted to ask him about this. This has been one of my favorite stories, and we'll get you out on this, and we appreciate you coming on, by the way. Earlier, before the season even started, obviously the news about Tom Seaver. It's very, very heartbreaking.
Sure.
So the Mets did a very, very classy thing, and this is coming from a Yankee fan, by the way. They did a very, very classy thing by renaming the address of Citi Field to 41 Seaver Way. I just wanted to get your thoughts about what the Mets did and about Tom Seaver in general.
I think it's an awesome move. I'm way too young to have any memory of Tom Seaver as the pitcher, but everybody who is around the Mets to any degree knows the kind of pitcher Tom Seaver was and his place in organization history. Naming the street address, the street and the address after him, that seems like an awesome no-brainer from the Mets. Very well done from them. And I think in June, when they celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1969 World Series champion Mets, they're going to do some sort of statue unveiling or announcement. There won't be a physical statue yet, but the expectation is we'll at least be able to see what it looks like and get some more details on that. So I think the sentiment from the fans is it's a shame it's taken this long, that Tom can't even really appreciate it probably at this point, but better late than never, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely. Better late than never. And just really quick before you go, personally, I think you're right. I think this should have been, a long time coming. I think this should have happened when Citi Field opened, honestly.
Sure.
But you know what? You don't get the nickname the franchise for no reason.
Absolutely.
And Tom Seaver was the franchise. It was him and Joe Namath, 1-2 back in the 60s.
Sure. Totally agreed. It's well-deserved for Seaver.
Absolutely. Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tim Healy, beat reporter from Newsday, for your very good New York Mets so far. I know it's only a series in, so you know what? Wonderful insight from Tim Healy.
Absolutely.
Love to have him on again.
Yeah,
he seemed very lively. Appreciated him coming on. But when we come back, we gotta compose ourselves from all that Mets talk. Get back to the Yankees really quick. But you are listening to WHBC Sports Talk. You're on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHBC. I'm Eric Bichetti with Matt Charkowick. Back in about 45 seconds with some Yankee talk. Back after this.
Answer me. Who taught you to listen to Radio Rumble at 12 p.m. on Saturday afternoons?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you. I'd buy that for $1.
The Radio Rumble has it all.
Humanity will suffer with me.
Movie reviews.
No kind of saying it, you're wrong.
Sports talk.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Doug Prish-Preed.
Awesome music.
Excellent!
So listen, Saturday afternoons at 12 p.m. for The Radio Rumble on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
I learned it by watching you.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. You really don't. Got some Mets talk coming back into some Led Zeppelin, one of the greatest of all time. Greatest bands of all time.
Indefinitely.
But I'm the captain. I can do whatever.
I ain't the captain.
This is my show. No, I'm just kidding. This is our show. And speaking of our show, thank you so much for tuning in. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College. I'm Eric Bichetti. Alongside me, my dear friend and co-host, Matt Charkowicz.
What's up?
So, Matt, I know we're going to spend a little bit more time on the Yankees because, we were rudely interrupted by Mets beat writer Tim Healy talking New York Mets, but that's all good. Love to have him on again. Very insightful information. Hopefully we can have more Mets guys on and more Yankees guys on during the course of the season. Why not?
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's a lot of fun. Love doing that with this show.
Love doing it. Absolutely love doing it. So I just want to look forward to the Yankee series going up against the Baltimore Orioles because for some reason the Yankees always have trouble with the Baltimore Orioles. I don't get it. Now, when they first started playing the Orioles earlier last week, they were bad. It was very lethargic play. It was just not good.
Very lousy, sloppy play.
Lousy, sloppy play is being generous because Yankee fans are very smart individuals. All right? And they saw what happened to this team last year when they had a bunch of trouble with the Orioles. That was probably the difference in catching the Red Sox for the division.
Yeah.
Now, you can't count out injuries because they happen all the time. You can't count out your star player Aaron Judge going out for what seemed like eons last year. It was a long season, but you know what? At the time, Stanton was picking up the slack. Everybody was picking up the slack. The pitching was okay, but the power and the presence of Aaron Judge was missed, and the Yankees kind of didn't play good baseball when he was hurt. I mean, it's not uncommon at all that's your best player. You got to play your best baseball every time, especially at that point. Whether it's a foregone conclusion that the Red Sox were going to win that division or not, at least keep it close. But you know what? The Red Sox won that division last year, and now they're 2-6. So really, who's worried if you're a Yankee fan right now? I'd love to hear that. 516-572-7440. Speaking of the phone number, let's go back to the phones. Call, you are on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
How you doing, Richie from Shirley?
What's up, Richie?
Hey, Rich, what's up?
Okay, now listen, yesterday, Aaron Boone brings Chapman in the ninth inning. Yankees leading 8-4, okay?
Yeah.
Why do you want to waste this guy's arm? He's having trouble with his fastball now. I think his highest fastball was 97 miles an hour. Why bring him in the game, right? You got to rest him. You're trying to burn him out already before the season even started.
Well, Richie, you did rest him because he wasn't used. So you at least have to get his feet wet. I understand the concern because everybody right now is dropping like flies. Totally get it. I understand. But Chapman has to get out there in some sense to, just work out his arm, just get back into the swing of things. Because I know his velocity was down in spring training, but the key factor in there, it was spring training. So he's got to work up the velocity in that sense. Chapman coming in really didn't bother me, but, the Yankees only won yesterday because of the home runs. Gleyber Torres had an outstanding game yesterday.
Yes, he did.
But Chapman coming in really didn't bother me because you have to work out the arm right there. It's early in the season. You have to get everybody playing right now.
Now, what do you think about the Yankees trading to get Castro back from the Marlins? What do you think about that? What do you think?
Oh, man. Greatest fleece of all time, and that happens. You get Stan and Castro back on the same team. I don't think it's a bad idea. Now, are you saying that specifically because, there's a chance that Andujar could be out for a long period of time?
He's going to be out. He ain't going to be able to be back. That injury. It's a bad injury.
That is a bad injury, but the only thing that, obviously it stings to see Andujar go down possibly, although there is a chance that he could miss surgery. LeMahieu could move to third. You can leave Tyler Wade at second, and you can put Gleyber Torres back at shortstop. Now I know what you're thinking. Tyler Wade can't hit. I agree with you. Yes. I wouldn't be upset if they contacted the Marlins and say, hey, what do you want for Castro? I don't think it's a bad move. You get another right-handed bat in the lineup. Castro has some pop. We saw it. I really wouldn't be opposed to it, but you just gotta, buyer beware about what the Marlins could want, because they're clearly in rebuild, so they're going to want prospects for no matter who. So
how does that team exist with 6,000 people a game?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just like, hey, let's just. I mean, it's so weird, right? The Marlins don't don't have any fans anymore. It's everybody else that's filling up the ballpark. All 6,000 of them. It's crazy. Weren't the Mets just there?
The Mets were there a few nights ago.
A bunch of them are Mets fans.
The whole arena was orange and blue.
It's crazy.
It is absolutely bizarre.
The Marlins should move to Montreal.
What do you think about Gardner now? He's playing terribly. He can't hit at all.
Gardner has actually been coming around, and now I mean. You can't really judge baseball like that, because one day you're going to go 0 for 5 and maybe the next day you're going to go 5 for 5. It's such a different game. I mean, Judge had a bad game yesterday. I think
strikeouts. He had a bad game.
Yeah, so Aaron Judge had a bad game. It doesn't mean that he's a bad player. It just means he just got the short end of the stick. I'm actually kind of happy that Gardner is here still right now, because look at who's down. It's Stanton. It's Hicks. I mean, are you going to rely on Matt Talkman, of all people, being in left field? No. I didn't even know who he was until they traded for him.
What's the story with Ellsbury? What's his problem now?
I honestly think he's a non-factor. He's been out of it for so long. The Yankees don't need him. Okay. They're more than welcome to cut their losses with him in my book.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I guess another question before I go.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, after the Met game, okay, they get everybody a urine test, okay, before they left the stadium. What if all the players says refuse to do this? What would happen then?
Well, if they refuse to do what?
If they refuse to do
the urine test, yeah.
If they refuse to do it, I mean,
yeah.
I get, man,
because they got out there late, because one of the Met players had a hard time going to the bathroom.
Dominic Smith, yeah.
Yeah, you heard about that, right?
I mean, I did hear about
happened?
it. I mean,
why?
The only thing I can think of, I mean, is if you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't have any reason not doing it. I mean, it happens to everybody, honestly. Right. They're just some random drug tests all the time, and you got to keep an eye on it.
It didn't make any sense. They knew the Mets had to be back in New York by 1 o'clock. I mean, and they do this after they pull a stunt after the game.
No, it honestly doesn't really make that much sense. And I mean, we just spoke to Tim Healy about it. The Marlins aren't going to do the Mets any favors in that sense. But in terms of the drug test, if you got nothing to hide, you shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
That's all I got to say about that. All right, Richie, thank you for the call.
Thanks for calling, bud.
Take care.
All right, Richie from Shirley. Very loyal listener. Love it. Love when he calls in. Call in anytime. I'll allow it. I'll allow it, Richie. I promise. So anyway, just going back onto the Yankees and Orioles series. They are resuming tomorrow, and I believe the first 7 o'clock game of their season. They're playing at 7:05 in Camden Yards at Baltimore, which I've never been, by the way.
I hear it's an amazing ballpark.
It looks
so much
beautiful.
So gorgeous, yeah.
It looks beautiful. Love to go down to Baltimore one day to see a game. Jay Happ is pitching tomorrow against Dylan Bundy. Jay Happ's ERA right now is 9. He did not have a good first outing at all.
No.
So, with that being said, Jay Happ needs to come up big tomorrow, because along with other Yankee fans, although I'm not worried about the season so far, you cannot lose to the Baltimore Orioles again. Yeah. This is a team that is poised to lose over 100 games this season. This was the problem last year with the Yankees in trying to fight for that division. They kept getting sideswiped by the Orioles. Meanwhile, the Red Sox were just going on their merry way last year. That's why a lot of Yankee fans are nervous, Matt.
Yeah.
They are very nervous because they saw what happened last year with the Yankees and the Orioles, and they're scared it's going to happen again.
They're picking up where they left off for some fans. Some fans are feeling that way.
And last time I checked, it's April 5th. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, some people are calling this a must-win. Will I go that far? The answer is no. But should you beat the Orioles? Yes. You really should beat the Orioles. I mean, come on. This is just a series that you need to get back on track. This is a perfect get back on track series for the Yankees because this is the easy part of their schedule. They're going to Boston. They're playing Houston. They're playing playoff teams later this month. Teams. No, well, let's just not get ahead of ourselves.
Maybe.
Of last year, they were potential World Series teams.
Yes.
So right now, they were playoff teams last year.
Yes.
You have to get back on track playing these bad teams. You need to beat up on set bad teams. Loving the phone calls today. Call, you are on WHBC Sports Talk. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Eric? It's G-Man.
What's up?
Greggy, what's up?
What's up, Greg?
What's up, guys?
Greg, I'm here with your brother. He's annoying me.
I know. I approve. The G-Man approves of the Houses of the Holy song, by the way, by the Bitey Zap.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm calling because I wanted to discuss a little bit. I've been a loyal Yankee fan since I was at least
out of the womb.
I would.
Yes,
I guess, but I guess I would say at least when I was 3. But okay. I just don't like how they're playing right now. I get that it's the beginning of the season, but I just don't get it. How are all their major guys almost injured? And it just makes no sense to me.
Well, you got to remember, if you played a sport in cold weather, not even just football, because football is supposed to be played in cold weather, sometimes specific sports like baseball, sometimes basketball, even if you play them outside, whenever you're cold, whenever it's cold outside, you get hurt faster. And it's just a fact. But I mean, G-Man, you can't predict injuries. You can't discount injuries. They happen all the time. It's just coming. I'm not even going to call it a bad time for the Yankees because I think you'd agree with me. I'd rather this happen now than in August.
Yeah, I fully agree. It sucks that a lot of them are injured, and I just didn't like how they were playing against the Orioles. Maybe you would agree with me, but it always seems like when we verse the Orioles, we have the hardest time beating them.
Because you know why? I've noticed this a lot, and I'm kind of half joking when I say this. They play down to their opponents, and they play up to competition. They can lose 10-0 to the Orioles and then beat the Red Sox 24-1. It's weird. It's so weird, but it just doesn't
happen, though. It has happened in the past.
Of course it's happened, but come on.
But you're right. It's weird.
This is a series that you need to get right. Not even just healing from the injuries and stuff. You have to win. Just win, baby. That's it.
Look, April baseball games are just as important as October baseball.
They are, because the losses pile up, and if it's interdivision rivalries, and you're losing to your interdivision rivals, they're going to pile up. It happens all the time. You cannot lose to the teams that you are clearly better than. And G-Man, in my mind, that's Toronto and Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree.
Tampa Bay might be a stretch now. Somebody called in a couple weeks ago. I think it was Dave from Franklin Square, actually. He called in and he said he thinks that the Rays are going to be second in the division.
Yeah, I remember him
in front of Boston.
That. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know. We'll see how the season goes, I guess.
What's your thoughts on the Yanks, Greg? How do you think this team's going to be this year?
I'd love to know.
I'm just hopeful that they can get to the playoffs. I would say that's a successful season.
Wait.
Just hold the playoffs after what you did last season?
Hold on. Wait, Matt, I'm going to kill your brother right now. Hopeful they'll get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
You
don't think they're a playoff team right now? Because you said hopeful.
No, I just think that right at this point that they just were playing a little iffy. I want them to straighten out a little bit. I think that they are going to be a playoff team.
It's April.
Yes.
It's April. Let's just have the team get right, because Hicks should be coming back soon. Didi Gregorius we shouldn't see for maybe another 2 months or out for the whole year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, he's missed right now. And when he comes back, all is going to be sunshine and rainbows. Tulowitzki, technically you can cut him loose. I don't want to. I think that he's going to be fine. Just, you kind of have to predict that he's going to get hurt because nothing's showing you that he hasn't gotten hurt. Who else? Mm-hmm. Dellin Betances, Luis Severino. Yes. Anyone else? Giancarlo Stanton? Anyone else? They have an all-star team of injured players right now. It's nuts. They have an MVP and over 15 All-Star game appearances on their injured list right now. It's nuts. So,
G-Man, it is crazy.
So, G-Man, I thank you so much for the call. Call in again. I like hearing your voice, all right?
Yeah, call back, man.
All right,
anytime.
I will.
All right, thank you. Greg Charkowick. Does his last name sound familiar? Because it should. So, Matt Charkowick's brother, former host, I don't know if he still does Rock Overdose.
He does. He's still the host.
He still does?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Host of Rock Overdose here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Eric Bichetti. Alongside me, I have Matt Charkowick. You just heard G-Man, his brother. Yeah. Very knowledgeable, I would think. Both of the Charkowick brothers are very, very knowledgeable. Can I ask you a question really quick?
Sure.
Does he like the Giants, too?
Yes, he does. He's a very avid Giants fan. I'm the bigger one.
Do you guys like just not pair up well with baseball?
Well, you know what? He comes to the Mets games with me sometimes.
Do you go to Yankee games with him?
I do. We kind of balance it out. So
See?
the household is predominantly Yankees fans. My mother's been a fan since she's come out of the womb. So is my my father. Actually, was a Mets fan way back when the Mets were, through the late '60s and the '80s. He was a Mets fan through and through.
My dad was a Mets fan too, and he actually met Tom Seaver. And, way back when, for all of our older audience, whenever you had, like, baseball cards, you put them in the spokes of your bikes. Well, you want to know what my dad did? He shot it with a BB gun.
So did my dad.
I mean, like, it was just that time. I mean, it's whatever. Anyway, Yankees. Don't lose to Baltimore. You can't afford it right now. I know it's April, but these are games that you absolutely, absolutely have to win. There's no way around it. Just get right. This is a series where you need to get right. Just something that I really want to see with the Yankees in particular. Number one, whenever Gary Sanchez gets the ball behind the plate, whenever someone's trying to steal, the last couple of times he bounced all of his throws and they became errors. One thing I want to see, straighten that out. This is a perfect time to do it. It's early. It's not going to cost you entirely. It hasn't cost them yet per se. But you can't give away free bases or free runs.
No, you can't.
You cannot do that. Number two, Aaron Judge. As big of a superstar as you are right now, potential face of baseball, future face of the Yankees, I'm sure, future captain.
He's not their face of the Yankees right now. Who is?
Well, no, he is, but like whenever face of the Yankees, future captain. I flubbed that.
Gotcha.
My mistake.
Understandable.
So, future captain of the Yankees, I'm sure. Face of the Yankees right now. He gets so many bad strike calls against him.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I noticed that.
Yesterday, can you take a wild guess who was behind the plate? Too late, Angel Hernandez. We heard a lot of stuff about him, haven't we?
Yeah.
He called a strike on Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is a 6'7" behemoth. And he got called a strike below the knees. And Aaron Boone went nuts. And what he said is not safe for work. So, with that being said, Aaron Judge, you worked on your two-strike approach. Just use it. Protect the plates. All good. Nobody's going to want to pitch to you anyway. You're a monster. Not kidding about that. Number three, Clint Frazier. He's gripping the bat way too hard. Is this an opportunity for him? Yes, it is. Because everyone else is hurt. He did not get this opportunity last year. He needs to capitalize on his opportunities. He has a very good bat. He had a bad defensive error either yesterday or the day before in left field, and that caused a run or two. Can't let that happen. Because with the way the Yankees are playing right now on offense, 3 runs seems like 10, except for yesterday. And you know what? Yesterday was awesome. But the Yankees won yesterday because of the home run. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't hit the home run if you're the Yankees, because home runs are great. They're runs. Any way you can get them. I want to see them win games by not just hitting home runs, because they won the game with a 3-run shot by Gleyber Torres, with a solo shot by Gleyber Torres, a solo shot by Gary Sanchez, and a dinger by Luke Voit.
It's the same with basketball. You can't rely on the three-point shot all the time. You have to play tough.
Basketball's different, only because the game changes every single time. Yeah. That's why. Baseball doesn't really change, per se, as much as basketball. I love the calls today, so while you do that, I'm sorry, just got to notice that. So, yeah, basketball is different in the sense of, yes, does the 3-point shot help? Yes. Is that the game right now? Yes. But, you know what, if you can post up down low, why not? Just do it. And again, I love the calls today. You're busy today, Matt.
Yeah, this is great, man.
We do have another call on the line. Caller, we're on WHBC Sports Talk. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everything?
Hey, Dave, what's up?
Yeah, nothing. I'm guarding a playground so no one can go into it in the rain. 8 hours it is. You think I'm kidding?
Is it still raining right now?
Yeah, in Manhasset it is.
Oh, gross. Ugh. What's on your mind?
You know, it's when you talk about baseball injuries early, and it really is a team builder. It's a character builder. It also, lets the manager and the coaches know who can do what in the event down the road.
100%.
It's just it's a very good idea of what your minor league can produce, what you're going to need mid-season, what you're going to need later in the season. And again, like I said, it's going to be a fun year. It really is going to be a fun year.
It's next man up mentality. Just to back up on your injury point, you're absolutely right on that.
Oh, and Pedro Martinez is horrible.
Pedro?
Yeah, I think he's horrible. I mean, you can see him reading off the cue cards, but he doesn't even do it good. I mean, I should say.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What happened?
No, I've seen his body work early. He adds nothing to the broadcast as far as his quote analysis, which you can tell he's reading off somebody else's cue card.
Really?
Wow.
Again.
That's really funny, actually.
And you know what I love about political correctness? I got the Daily News here.
Right.
Anthony Davis made a sign to the crowd.
Right.
He got fined. You know what they refer to it as?
What?
The third finger on his left hand.
Oh my God! Just call it the bird. Who cares?
That's so sick.
Look. If anything, maybe you don't want to say, "Oh, he gave the middle finger." Fine, that's maybe harsh. Whatever. You can't say flipping the bird. Everybody in the mother knows what that means. The third finger. What?
Of his left hand.
On his left. Oh, great.
You have to be specific of which hand he used.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Thank you for that lovely information. I can sleep at night knowing what he did, but without you saying it. Come on. So stupid.
I'll let you go with a quick hockey one.
Yeah.
Anthony Tortorella put it out last night. Getting late in the game or late in the period, if a penalty is called against the opposing team, shouldn't the team that gets fouled have the option of just knocking off 2 minutes off the clock?
You know what?
That's interesting.
I'm going to go with no, because there are a lot more shorthanded goals than you think. So, I mean, if you just take off 2 minutes on the clock, that's just going to assume that the penalty is going to be killed, And,
yep.
You have the Islanders, who have the worst power play in the league. Who has the best penalty kill in the league? I actually don't know off the top of my head.
I think it might be Tampa Bay.
I really wouldn't be surprised if it's Tampa Bay. So let's just say Tampa Bay is the best penalty kill in the league against the Islanders' worst power play in the league. Let's just say that for laughs, all right? You can't just assume that the Islanders aren't going to score, even though we do that all the time. You can't really assume that, because there are such things as defensive breakdowns and shorthanded goals. So if you had to ask me if that would be like an option I would consider, honestly, I'd say no. Matt, what do you think?
I was thinking about it. Like, say it was 3 minutes left in the game and you were up by 2 goals. And a foul was committed against your player. If you could drop that down from 3 minutes to 1 minute, and you would only have to defend the goal, against 2 goals for a minute, as opposed to, as you said, a shorthanded goal might make the other team, 1 goal down. But if you could knock the 2 minutes off, all of a sudden you've got just a minute to have to play defense.
I get what you're saying, I really do, but again, I don't think I would do that, because, if it
depends
happens,
on the period for me.
Okay, so let's say I'm watching the Islander Capital game tomorrow, right? And let's say that Matt Barzal gets, a penalty for slashing, hooking, whatever. It's fine when it happens to your team. Oh, we'll just knock down the 2 minutes. But when it goes the other way, it's the most infuriating thing of our lives. So again, I'd probably say no. I really wouldn't want that to happen, because it's fine when it happens to you, but when it happens to you the other way, it's infuriating. It's almost like taking the stick out of your hands. Honestly,
yep.
it's kind of like taking fade out.
Well, that's called discipline. I mean, if you're a coach, you got to emphasize to your guys, hey, you get a penalty, the game's over. And
I get what you're saying with that, totally.
I get it. I just don't think anyone would buy that, honestly.
Okay. Well, that's what sports is all about. You got to get it out there. Oh, and keep an eye on the Seattle pitcher, Marco Gonzalez. Holy moly, he's got some array of pitching.
I believe I saw him the other day, 99 miles per hour, and it moved into the hands.
It's incredible.
99 mile per hour fastball shouldn't move like that. They really shouldn't. Oh,
look
wow.
Look at Seattle, 7-1.
They're playing
Gotta
great.
get early.
Who
All right,
would've
enjoy your
guessed?
show, guys.
Who would have thought about that? And thank you, Dave from Franklin
Absolutely.
Square. Another loyal caller. I love it. See, this is what I'm saying. See, the woman behind the 90.3 WHPC Instagram page, Sherelle, I told the audience when she's like, hey, promote your show. Okay, come join us. We're lonely. They listen to me. They listen, Matt.
People listen,
and they're doing it on Facebook.
Thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate your support.
I just hit my head, but that's okay. Thank you for tuning in. Seriously.
Another one.
What? Another one?
Another one.
My God. But so first, we're going to go to break really quick because I got to recuperate from hitting myself in the head. Okay, Matt, you can answer that. So when we come back, we're going to be talking football, hockey, and basketball. In that order? Who knows? I'm only running a show here on 90.3 WHPC.
The new Retro Mix, powered by Taylor Swift breakup songs.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Adele's Sad Love Life.
What?
And Kanye West's Weirdness.
What? No. Stop the promo. Stop it. Stop. What did you just say?
The new Retro Mix.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. What are you doing?
The Retro Mix promo.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Mix?
What do you... No!
Promo?
No, I mean...
The?
This is getting too silly.
Who was that?
I don't know!
All right, look, just give me the mic.
No.
Tyler, give me the mic, Tyler.
No.
Tyler, no! Give me the mic.
It's mine.
No, it's mine. Got it. Okay. Now let me show you what retro really is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Retro Mix is back with your favorite mix from the 50s to the 80s, and it's better than ever. I'm Colton Murray, your host, bringing this to you Monday from noon to 2. And the beat goes on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, what's up? This is Steph Saucy from It's Saucy that airs Wednesday nights from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Oh, let me tell you about what you had missed. Look, check this out. You know, there's a lot of trending stuff going on nowadays. Don Q versus Tory Lanez. Tell a friend to tell that other friend. If that friend don't know, that friend must tell a friend that can connect to another friend that comes back to your friend. I just did that for no reason. I don't know what it is. For more saucy talk on news, trending topics, and music, Jumpin', that boy something. 90.3 WHPC each and every Wednesday night, 10 p.m.
Early in the morning. Early in the morning.
Tune in every week Wednesday on It's Saucy on 90.3 WHPC right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, available on the iHeartRadio app.
I was in a Kiss mode today, too. Don't ask why. Just enjoy it.
They were at the Coliseum not too long ago.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I could have gone.
The only concert I've went to was only Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers back in 2006 as a middle school graduation present.
I went to the...
and I didn't want to go.
Last concert I was at was the Foo Fighters at Citi Field.
Loser. So, you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Eric Bichetti, alongside my good friend and co-host Matt Charkowick.
What's
you
up?
on Facebook Live. And we do have another call on the line. A lot of callers today. I love it. So, caller, you are on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
What's up, Eric? How's it going?
What's going on?
You know, it's been a long time since we last talked. It's actually your former co-host, Andrew Zucker.
I know who you are, Zucker.
going on?
I asked him who was that, and he said
I had
Andrew.
to double check.
And
I had to think.
Listen, he said Andrew. I'm like, deep voice or high voice? He said deep. I'm like, yeah, that's Zucker. So what's up?
You know, I was listening to the Stephen A. Smith show before, like I try to do basically every single day.
Okay.
And he mentioned something that there's reports going around from trusted sources within the industry that Kevin Durant is a lock to go to the New York Knicks. Now, I know you're a Knicks fan. Is that something you want to see? Is it something you believe? What's your take on it?
I don't believe anything, Andrew, because
nothing.
I don't believe anything. And even if that happens, which, you know what, going back, a while ago, the Kristaps Porzingis trade, whatever, it's water under the bridge now. You have room for 2 max spots. If you're not in on Kevin Durant, there's something wrong with you, and you need to move franchises, honestly. So, Kevin Durant being a lock to the Knicks, I think I saw the report that you're talking about. This is the same guy that said LeBron James and Chris Bosh was a lock to go to the Chicago Bulls, right?
Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
Was that the same guy?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember if it was him, but I do remember, by the way, that was also very close to happening.
No, I believe it, but it didn't happen. But his phrase was, "It's a lock to happen." You know?
Yes.
So, no, I don't believe it. Would I love Kevin Durant on the Knicks? The answer is yes. If you're a Knicks fan and you don't want Kevin Durant, change your fandom, please. But
and if Kevin Durant comes, he could bring Kyrie with him.
He could bring
That's
a lot
what
of
I'm
power
thinking,
here.
too. And again, I think Kevin Durant, and Andrew, I'm pretty sure that you would agree with me, Kevin Durant doesn't seem like the guy that would want to do things by himself, which is why in Oklahoma City, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, Golden State, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, he can bring Kyrie Irving with him because these players talk.
Of course.
Yeah, so I can see it, but Andrew, I gotta tell you, I really don't believe anything until it happens. The season's not even over yet. Anything can change.
I remember at the beginning of the season, a lot of people were saying the Knicks could bring KD next year, but KP, like Kristaps Porzingis has to come back mid-time of the season. Then when the Porzingis trade happened, people were like, "Oh yeah, no, this is them clearing the way to get KD." I love it how the storylines, no matter what happens with the Knicks, the media is always just on them saying, "Yeah, no, don't worry, they're good, they got it going down." But Dolan seems to be running this team into the ground, and I'm a proud Brooklyn Nets fan, and we got ours.
Listen. You should be a proud Brooklyn Net fan for other reasons, that your team is actually doing well. I believe they just, extended Sean Marks and Kenny Atkinson. Great moves.
That was terrific.
Our G League team is playing in the G League finals.
You're going to be in the finals. That's right.
And I know the announcer. The announcer trained me at Hofstra University, Kevin Dexter, one of my friends, actually. So, yeah.
Look, it's literally right here in my own backyard. It's right here in Stony Brook University.
I know, Andrew. But like I said, don't tell me that people don't want to come here just strictly because of James Dolan. People don't want to come here because the Knicks are terrible and they haven't won anything. James Dolan is a very small piece of it. These players just don't want to deal with, okay, we won 2 games in a row, we're gods, and then whoops, you lose 3 games in a row. They want to have your head by the stake. James Dolan is not the main reason.
He's not the main reason.
The main reason is because the Knicks have been so bad. That's why.
Yes, but he does. I would say he does contribute to that a little bit. I remember when the Charles Oakley situation went down, people were saying the Knicks have no loyalty, Dolan has no loyalty, and why would players want to come there and be great, and then when they come back, be treated like hot trash?
But then you look at guys like John Starks and Larry Johnson and Allen Houston who are working for the organization.
I know. It's always give and take. But I do think that Dolan kind of scares away free agents at certain points.
Andrew, I want you to be honest with me. When was the last time you even heard James Dolan's name mentioned in terms of the Knicks? Seriously.
A week and a half ago.
And before that, it's been a while. It's been a while, maybe since the rumor about him selling the team. That was it. He honestly, Scott Perry and Steve Mills have been the only voices and faces that I have really seen. Honestly. So I think that Dolan is actually doing the right thing here and just getting the hell out of the way. Honestly.
Look, if Dolan can successfully do that for an entire year, I don't see why the Knicks couldn't be such a great team, because if the owner, he's a big problem, and if he gets himself out of the way, he's got the money to just keep pouring it back into the team, getting better free agents. They already have great facilities.
Yeah, they do.
They're just stars away from being a top-notch organization. Outside of the court, they're still great, and it kind of sucks to see that there's only one good New York sports team.
Well, technically there's 2, and they both played in Brooklyn at one point. That's the Nets and the Islanders. So, come on, give us a little credit.
Don't get me started on hockey, Eric.
Oh, boy.
Andrew Zucker, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, Eric. And great to hear from you guys.
Awesome.
Care,
amazing hearing from you.
Yeah, definitely.
Andrew Zucker.
One quick thing to add on this discussion, and he brought up that he was listening to Stephen A. Smith's show earlier. I was as well before we came here, and Stephen A. brought up a point.
He's about to be the highest paid man.
He is, but he brought up an interesting point about this whole thing with KD just coming to the New York market in general.
Mm-hmm.
He has a better shot coming to Brooklyn than he does the Knicks, only because the Nets are in a position now for the next maybe couple of years where they're going to be at least a competitive club. They have a shot at making the playoffs, I would say, maybe the next 2-3 seasons. With the talent they got there, who knows what this offseason is going to bring. They have a good coach.
They should keep D'Angelo Russell for like ever.
Russell should be signed to a max deal at this summer, no doubt in my mind.
Kenny Atkinson's an awesome coach.
Kenny Atkinson's a terrific coach. I love what he's done with this club this year. But, yeah, I really think... do I want KD here? I want KD and Zion and Kyrie. I want a big three here. I want it in the worst way. But I think...
I just want a winning team. I don't even care about the NBA championship right now. I just want to talk. I just want to get back to the playoffs first.
I want to just be able to talk the Knicks every day. I would love to.
I told my cousin, who was a Laker fan, shout out Marissa, that if Kevin Durant signs here without anything else happening, I said to her, place your bets on the Knicks making the Eastern Conference Finals, and there's a good chance you might win a lot of money.
It's possible.
I was kind of half kidding about that, but like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine the bank you'll make of that?
Oh,
it's crazy.
Absolutely. They
nuts.
would blow up. But yeah, realistically, I think he has a better shot going into the Nets right now.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned Stephen A. And damn it, Andrew, you got us talking about Stephen A. Thank you very much. But
when it comes to basketball, Stephen A's terrific. He's got a great basketball mindset.
That depends what side you're on. But honestly, when the Kristaps Porzingis trade happened, there was only one voice that I wanted to hear, and that was Stephen A. Smith.
Me too. I know where you're going with it.
Very outspoken Knicks fan, very outspoken New Yorker.
Yes,
because he always mentions that. He always mentions that.
Oh, man.
He didn't mind the trade. And that shocked me.
That really shocked. I thought I was waiting the day.
I was waiting for the meltdown.
I was waiting for him to blow up on First Take. I was waiting for it.
But do you remember what he said? Because I do. Would you like me to remind you?
Remind me.
He said that when Porzingis was a Knick, main free agents concerned, he wasn't really naming names. He was just naming like everybody that was like a top-tier free agent. That's Jimmy Butler, that's Kemba, that's Kyrie Irving, that's Kevin Durant. By Kemba, I mean Kemba Walker, a.k.a. Cardiac Kemba from UConn. They were worried about how Porzingis was going to come back because of the knee. Now with him not being in the picture, they don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's true.
Now, when I first heard that, I thought it was outrageous. Who would want to come here without their star player? But then I was thinking about it, and then everything that was going on the past couple of weeks, the allegations, whether false or true, about Kristaps Porzingis. You never want to see that happen. If you don't know what it is, basically there were reports that right after he tore his ACL, he was involved in a not nice situation with a woman. I'll just go there.
Yeah, we won't go far into
that. And, whether true or not, you never want to see that happen. Could that have been a factor in the trade? Maybe. You want to get rid of that negative energy? Maybe. I don't think it's outrageous. I don't think it's out of the question.
No doubt.
But now these free agents don't have to worry about what is Kristaps Porzingis. What are they looking at when they look at the Knicks? They're looking at a guy like the best draftee of last year, Mitchell Robinson, what he's turning into, and how DeAndre Jordan is mentoring him.
And how
Kevin Knox
definitely
has grown before our eyes. He's been consistent, sure. Alonzo Trier, an undrafted rookie who has not taken the league by storm, because I don't think a lot of people know who he is.
People are starting to know his name now, for sure.
Took Knicks fans by storm.
Oh, yeah.
With that first game against the Hawks, he dunked over, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Len, it might have been Collins, might have been Trae Young.
I think it was Trae Young.
He dunked over like 2 or 3 people, and it was the greatest thing I've ever seen this year. Along with every Mitchell Robinson lob. This is going to be a good team eventually. You just need...
There's pieces here.
There are pieces here. You just have to trust the front office. That seems like a lot to do right now, and I totally get it. This is a new regime. This is Scott Perry. This is Steve Mills. The only one that should worry you is Steve Mills, because this is the guy that was kind of like on the back burner when Phil Jackson was here, when Grunwald was here. I think Steve Mills has been here since the early 2000s.
I think so.
I think I would have to double check on that just to make sure, whether it's today or next week, whatever. But either way, Scott Perry is a guy that I trust right now. If they draft well, because it doesn't matter where you draft, if you draft well, that's going to attract some pieces.
Oh, definitely.
If you even get a Ja Morant, if you get an R.J. Barrett, if you get a, I forgot his first name, but he's from Texas Tech. His name is Culver. He's really good. If you don't get a Zion Williamson, which,
there's still guys out there.
There's a chance that might happen. There's a chance they might not get Zion. Of course there's a chance. There's a chance that they can slip back to number 4 in the draft.
Yeah.
But with the right people in place, they'll be okay. I haven't felt that way for the longest time. But this is the first season that I am not stressed out. This is the first season that I'm not really thinking about.
I'm optimistic more than anything, if you want my take on this.
I think there's a reason to be optimistic, if you want me to be honest. I mean, there are pieces here. We said it. Robinson, Knox, Trier. Fizdale's a good coach. There is reason for optimism here, no doubt about it. But, again, you just have to get the right people here. And if a Zion Williamson can attract a Kevin Durant or a Kevin... because Kevin Knox is still here. A Kevin Durant, a Kyrie Irving, the Knicks are going to be in good shape. And in the wise words of Amari Stoudemire, the Knicks are back. The Knicks are back if that happens. So, again, we'll just have to see how that plays out. But, Matt, this lovely show was brought to you by the lovely people here at 90.3 WHPC. And it's time for you, it's time for me, it's time for all of you to bring in the closer. Matt Charkowicz.
So, unfortunately, it did not happen yesterday. The Islanders could not force a chance to play Saturday against the Capitals to clinch the first place in the Metropolitan.
And you know what my thoughts were?
I didn't think it was going to happen from the get-go.
I have a live reaction of how my thoughts were. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Because, it doesn't matter. They're a playoff team.
It's a playoff team anyway. We don't have to worry. We got in under our own terms. We don't have to rely on teams to lose or to win. We got in straight out for just pure performance and endurance, and I'm excited for the playoffs, man. It's going to be fun. Bring on Pittsburgh. We're ready.
Bring on anybody. I'm not scared of any one of you, and mine was on the Islanders, too. Saturday, the last game of the season.
It's going to be intense.
From best to Islanders, from Deadspin. You know what the theme is right now? Prove everybody wrong.
Keep
Your
doing
New
it.
York Islanders are a playoff team, and we will see them next week.
Trust the process.
Bring on Pittsburgh. Bring on Carolina. Bring on Tampa Bay. Bring on Boston. Bring on Toronto. I'm not scared of any one of you. And by the way, here's your tidbit of the day. The Islanders finished with more points than the super team Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah. So, from Matt Charkowicz, from Eric Bichetti, from all of you on Facebook Live, and Zach Turkel right next to me, I'm Eric Bichetti saying in the wise words of Jack Black, I will catch you guys on the flip-flop.
Music history. Go ahead. Ask me anything.
What was the #1 song this week in 1967?
I don't know. That was like 50 years ago. I guess it was a Beatles song?
Wrong. Roll again.
Okay, music history again. Go.
What was the #1 song this week in 1981?
How the heck am I supposed to know this stuff?
You obviously aren't listening to my show, The Classic Countdown. It's where we count down the biggest hits of the week, but not from this year. We go back in time to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, giving you the biggest hits of the week.
I know I can beat this game. Let me try one more time. I don't believe it. Music history again.
My favorite subject. What was the #1 song this week in 1977?
All right, I'll listen. When is it on?
Listen to The Classic Countdown with me, Zach Turkel, Wednesday evenings at 6 on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and on the iHeart Radio app. I gotta go get ready for my show. Later.
I guess I win by default. Winning!
Want more sports? We have more sports.
Let's get it.
Catch WHPC Sports Talk all week to get your sports fix.
Break it down.
Monday mornings at 9. Monday afternoons at 5. Tuesday afternoons at 5. Thursday nights at 9. And Friday afternoons at 3.
Come and get some of this.
WHPC Sports Talk. Exclusively on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, WHPC HD Garden City, and on the iHeart Radio app.